Hello, I'm Lori Steiner, sitting in for Armin Budish. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, we've got our fingers on the pulse of heart disease in seniors. Want to leave a legacy? We'll look at ways to ensure that happens. Then, want to avoid a new hearing aid that doesn't help? You can try out a device before you decide. Listen up to learn how. Plus, we'll put you in touch with outpatient therapy and why it might work for you. And we'll reveal how to find those extra resources you need to allow your loved one to age at home.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. One of the perks of aging is that along with adding those gray hairs, we add some wisdom. Hopefully that includes wising up about our health as well. Dr. Grace Cater is no wise guy, but she does have great wisdom to share about the risk of heart disease in seniors and how to prevent it. Dr. Cater is a cardiologist with the Heart and Vascular Center at Metro Health. Welcome to the show again.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so I'm not as wise as you, of course, with regard to the heart, but I mean, it seems to me that if you've been healthy and haven't had any heart problems, it's something you don't have to worry about.
Well, actually, no, you always have to worry about your heart. As we get older, the risk of heart disease does increase. And also, heart disease is a major health problem in the U.S. It's the leading cause of death in the U.S., both in men and women.
Boy.
Yeah, more than 600,000 people die of heart disease per year, and that's about 1 in 4 deaths.
Ooh.
And also, it's a major cause of disability in the U.S., so it is really a big concern, even if you don't have any symptoms or actual heart problems.
Okay, then we do have to worry about it. But we're talking about heart disease. I mean, that covers a lot of territory. Can you break it down to what that term really means?
Yeah, heart disease actually is composed of several types of heart conditions, and there are 4 that top the list. And one thing to remember is that these heart conditions increase as we get older.
Okay.
And these several types can lead to one another, and if we don't treat them, actually the problems may be worse. So the 4 common heart conditions that we need to be aware of, all of us, whether we're younger or older, are number 1, coronary artery disease, which is the most common cause of heart disease. And it's due to blockages in the arteries of the heart.
Okay.
And that can lead to a heart attack or death. The second thing is called heart failure, and it's a problem where the heart cannot pump enough blood to the rest of the body. The third is called arrhythmias, where there is a disturbance in the electrical system of the heart. And fourth is a valvular problem, which may be due to either narrowing or leakage of the valves in the heart.
Okay, so there's lots of possibilities here.
Yes,
so does that mean as we get older, we automatically have to add a cardiologist to our primary care doctors?
Well, really, this is something that you would have to speak with your primary care physician, because that would depend, again, because they know you the best. What are your risk factors if you're having any symptoms?
Yeah, what are the symptoms?
Yeah, there are certain symptoms specific, for the heart, although they may be due from something else. But if you have any symptoms such as shortness of breath, chest discomfort.
Yeah, we have a whole list of them here up on the screen for everybody.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of them.
Yeah, a lot of things to worry about.
And if these happen suddenly and they last for more than a few minutes, it may be a sign of a serious heart condition or a heart attack, and that's when you should call 911 even before calling your doctor.
Okay, and then what kind of tests do they run to see if it is heart related?
There are certain tests that are important to do, one of them being a blood test that can detect unknown conditions or diseases in the system. There's an ECG or a heart monitor to detect arrhythmias of the heart. There's an ultrasound of the heart that helps detect any weakening of the heart muscle. And there's a stress test to detect any potential blockages in the arteries of the heart. Now, the good thing is that most of the time, these are done in the office setting.
Oh, that makes it handy. So just hit on a few of the risk factors as we age.
The risk factors are, number 1 is, if you are smoking, that's a major risk factor. Obviously, everybody should know that by now. The second thing is if you have any diabetes or high blood pressure or high cholesterol, especially if they are not treated, and also if you are not physically active.
Okay.
And
if you've got those risk factors and some of these symptoms, can we prevent everything from happening? Give us some prevention tools.
Yeah, prevention is really the key. As we know, heart disease is mostly preventable because if we know what our risk factors are and we tend to control them. For example, if you're smoking, quit smoking. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or high cholesterol, they need to be treated or controlled. And also you need to be active and eat a healthy diet.
Yeah, it's the same for all of these conditions, isn't
yes,
it?
yes.
But good advice from you today. You may not have a choice about your real age, but you do have a choice about how you age. Follow Dr. Cater's heartfelt advice for keeping your heart its healthiest. And to learn more, join Dr. Cater for a free community health talk for senior citizens on heart disease. It's Thursday, November 8th at 6 o'clock at the Strongsville Senior Center. Call 216-778-1220 to register.
To learn more, call Metro Health's Heart and Vascular Center at 216-778-4131 or visit www.metrohealth.org. Next, being generous for future generations. But first, today our options for where we can go to voice our political views have undergone a radical revolution. But can you recall what creation first recast our ballot behavior? We'll tally the results and report the winner when we return.
The FDA has approved a new procedure to relieve lower back pain, and doctors worldwide are using decompression for bulging discs and pain from aging.
Surgery or drugs to cover up your pain are options, but our well-documented, non-invasive procedure treats the cause of your pain. Decompression increases spinal disc space and draws nutrients back into the disc. This helps restore normal disc height and function.
Soul and Spine, 440-248-5070, soulandbackpain.com.
In the early 1900s, the vehicle to voice our views went on the road. The mobile voting booth enabled citizens to park themselves inside and elect to mark their ballots. Today, this booth is parked in one place. Find it in the yard of President Warren G. Harding's home in Marion, Ohio.
We all like to imagine we'll leave a lasting legacy for our families, but turning that hope into reality often seems more like fantasy than fact. Jim Lineweaver is here with a very doable way to create meaning for multiple generations. Jim is a certified financial planner with the Lineweaver Financial Group. Welcome again to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we're talking about people pass away. I mean, many people have the same kind of common goals. Can you describe that?
Yeah, they do. It's mainly going to be in three areas, whether, unfortunately, you have to face these whether you like it or not. But first one's going to be estate planning. It's getting an inheritance over to your kids and maybe for education for grandkids and things along that nature. So how do you efficiently pass that money over to the next generation? Mm-hmm. The second one's going to be if you happen to have a handicapped child or a special needs child, the care for that child over their lifetime might be a huge amount of money.
It's a big worry for many parents.
Yeah, so you really got to do some proper planning with that, especially on getting that over to them. And then the last one is really going to deal with some type of charitable giving, kind of paying back to the church or other organizations that might have helped you out through your lifetime.
Mm-hmm. So we've got these goals. Everybody's got goals. How do we achieve those goals?
Well, some people can do gifting, and the way I refer to gifting is, let's say I wanted to gift $1 to you, or just pass it through the estate.
Okay,
then it's going to go straight
I'll
over.
take that.
Okay,
$1, but I got $1, right?
Exactly. You got $1. Now, if I could take that $1 and if I could leverage that into say $20,
well, I'd rather have that.
Exactly. You would. So what we can do for people, if they can qualify, is use life insurance for that. And there's a couple different kinds you can use. One is just basically on a single life, so you do it on yourself, but that's mainly to benefit maybe your spouse or something like that. It's not for this type of planning. What we use here is what's called a second to die life insurance policy, or it's on both lives or a joint life, and you really get a lot more leverage in doing that.
Okay. So how does a joint life policy work?
Well, for like an example, let's say we compare that to a single life. A joint life will cover two people, and therefore, based on the insurability, technically your cost of insurance are lower. And if I'm just insuring a single life, it's going to be a lot higher. So, for example, let's say I had $10,000 and I'm insuring a male who's age 70 and in good health. That'll buy about $380,000 of life insurance protection. If I use that same $10,000 on a healthy husband and wife age 70, I can get over $600,000
huge difference.
worth of coverage. So it can go a lot further, provide a lot more benefits, and you can get leverage for the same exact dollar.
Is it easier also you kept talking about healthy single person, a healthy couple. What about one of them is ill?
Yeah, we've had situations where one person's actually uninsurable, but when we combine them together, they're actually able to get good coverage and still have that leverage.
Okay, so that's helpful for somebody who's not sure they can actually qualify for. Is there some reason you choose the single life policy, though?
Yeah, there can be. That's more for immediate needs. So let's say you have a spouse and you're worried, maybe there's some spend down issues or something for nursing home or home health care, and you may want a replacement on some of that stuff. So that's more for an immediate spouse need, not necessarily going to the next generation. This is really meant for estate planning and a continuation.
The
of
legacy,
inheritance.
the
Creating a
charitable,
legacy.
the next generation taking care of them as opposed to more immediate things that you might need.
Exactly.
Okay, and this is not easy, so I understand you have some information coming up for our viewers.
Yeah, this whole stage of life planning, we're going to have an education program there for your viewers. It's free. There isn't any cost. It's in November on the 13th at 1 p.m. in our Valley View office, and then also that's at 1 p.m. and also November 15th at 6:30 p.m.
Okay, sounds good for more information. Life insurance could ensure that your families, as well as your heirs and charities you support, are provided for after you're gone. To learn more, attend Jim's seminar or give him a call. His number is next.
For more information, call the Lineweaver Financial Group at 1-888-313-4009 or log on to www.lineweaver.net. Next, giving your new hearing aid a test drive. Looking for places to go, things to do? Here's our tip for a trip that's just down the road. Visit Lanterman's Mill, and you'll discover 1800s pioneer ingenuity still in use today. Located in Mill Creek Park in Youngstown, the mill grinds fresh cornmeal, buckwheat, and whole wheat flour, so visitors can take home a taste of the past. Plus, the observation deck offers a great view of Lanterman's Falls. To put your plans into motion, call 330-740-7115 or click to www.millcreekmetroparks.org.
Yes, you can buy a hearing aid from the privacy of your own home via TV, online, and yes, you can still do it the old-fashioned way by visiting a hearing center. But once you put the device actually into your ear, all too often the seller doesn't want to hear from you again, or if it doesn't fit, or if it doesn't work right. Is there a way to make sure your concerns will get a fair hearing? Dr. Burt Brown and Dr. Stephanie Rosenblum are here to aid us. Dr. Rosenblum is a doctor of audiology, and Dr. Brown is an ear, nose, and throat doctor, and both are from Physician Hearing Centers. So welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
I guess it sounds like there's no avoiding it. Before you get into a hearing aid, you really need the evaluations, right?
Yeah, you do. And it's important, I think it's actually probably best to go to even an ear, nose, and throat doctor because, first of all, I have to determine sometimes what people are calling hearing loss, it's actually not hearing loss per se. They're just having difficulties in situations. I'm going to also examine the ear. Sometimes I'll identify a hearing problem that I can fix right then and there.
Oh.
And then sometimes I look and I agree with them there's a hearing problem and their ear exam is normal, and then it's at that point that Stephanie and I will talk, and then I'll refer them over to Dr. Rosenblum for her evaluation.
Right.
Okay, and then you step in and you do.
We do the comprehensive hearing test. So we do a full assessment to make sure that we have a full understanding of what's going on with the hearing. And we have doctors of audiology on our staff. So we're not just bringing the hearing component, but a little bit of the medical as well. And that's where the partnership really works between the ENT and the doctors of audiology.
Sounds very important. So now we know that there's a hearing loss and to some degree what that is. Can you just go out and buy your hearing aid?
No, and that's one of the misconceptions. There's many kinds of different hearing aids now, and so the other step we take besides the medical and physical evaluation is just talking to the patient, identifying what situations are you having difficulty hearing in, what's your lifestyle, what kind of needs are you going to have by this hearing aid, what do you want corrected, and when you put all that together, that's when that helps you to define what kind of hearing aid. And again, once again, in our partnership, Stephanie or Dr. Rosenblum is our expert, and she can tell you more about the hearing aids.
Okay, we've got some here out on the table as display. They're much smaller than I thought, so tell me
They're
about
actually
them.
quite small. We really want to make sure that we're fitting a patient's needs, what they want as far as appearance. So fortunately, we have a lot of smaller hearing aids these days that are very cosmetically appealing. Some are custom that fit completely in the ear, as close to being down by the eardrum. And it's amazing how we can jam-pack this amazing, sophisticated technology into such a small space. It really is amazing. And so we have the in the ear, and then we also have more behind the ear models as well, which are also very cosmetically appealing. And Dr. Brown actually has one in his ear right now.
No
that
kidding.
That you would never even know.
I would never
And
know,
everyone
you're
thinks
right.
of those hearing aids. So actually, if you see, this has been sitting in my ear, and you can actually see that hearing aid is also not very visible when you have it
No,
in
not at
properly.
all, not at all. So let's say we choose this one. You know, that's the one I like.
Okay.
So what happens at that point?
Well, we have to make sure we take impressions and customize it to you. One hearing aid doesn't fit everybody. So, you know, we make sure that it fits your hearing loss appropriately, but also your ear as well. And we also take into consideration the finger dexterity, visual acuity, to make sure that we can handle all of the, you know, what's involved with that hearing aid. So that's usually the next step.
Okay, and you've got a free program coming up, I understand, that will explain a lot more detail.
Absolutely.
So, tell us about that.
Well, what we're going to do is a seminar in our office. We're doing that November 8th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And what we're going to do is give a little talks on what hearing aids about, some of the things we talked about today, show people the hearing aids, and show them how our team approach with Dr. Rosenblum and myself work, and also our special sound experience room, where we really fit those hearing aids precisely.
Really tweak it down to
We
them.
are. We're really looking forward to having people come and see how we work.
All right, sounds good. When choosing a hearing aid, you want to make sure it fits your style and your life. And the best way is to try it out for a while, or go to the seminar, attend Dr. Brown's seminar, see how it really works.
Find out more by calling the Physician Hearing Centers or visit their website, www.physicianhearingcenters.com. Next, inside outpatient therapy.
It's time to get up and go. An exercise minute on golden opportunities.
Hello everybody, I'm Mike Carvin from Breakout Fitness, and today we're going to work the triceps in the back of our arm by doing a tricep extension, okay? Today we're going to roll out on our exercise ball. We want to have the ball between our lower back and our shoulder blades. If you don't have a ball, this exercise can also be done on the ground at home. We want to start with the dumbbell straight above our chest. We're going to grab our elbow with the opposite hand, and we simply want to drop that dumbbell down to a 90-degree angle and then fully extend it back up, okay? So straight down and right back up. Holding the opposite arm with the one that's not being used will help you to make sure that you get full range of motion and you can get a 90-degree angle. All right, slow and steady. Remember to breathe. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm still
Now
here.
it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, please send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 23240 Chagrin Boulevard, Suite 450, Beechwood, Ohio, 44122.
In a way, our bodies are like cars. We need to take care of them and do maintenance to keep them running their best. But even with care, those aging parts sometimes break down and need replacement. So if your knees or your hips are telling you it's time for more than just a tune-up, now you can ensure you'll be in shape to hit the road after the surgery. And what if you're worried about getting parked in a long recovery process or physical therapy? David Schell, the executive director of Breckenridge Village not-for-profit retirement community in Willoughby, is here, along with Mimi Pekarik. Mimi is a physical therapist and the director of outpatient therapy at the new Veal Wellness and Aquatic Center, which is on the campus of Breckenridge Village. Got more information for us about this, huh?
Yes.
You want to drive home the point, David, I understand, that surgery doesn't have to be something to be afraid of or has to be scary, and that whole recovery process doesn't necessarily have to be horrible.
Well, I think it's always still a little scary, but I think there's some ways to kind of minimize some of the concerns about that. And it's kind of having a little bit of a proactive plan of working with the doctor and the therapist and looking at pre and then post therapy and how you do that. Our goal all the time is to figure out how to help individuals maintain on a plateau for as long as possible. And that's the ultimate goal, how to maintain your independence and do the things that you absolutely love to do.
Right. So, Mimi, you've got a lot of experience. You're probably pretty good at now identifying who's a good candidate, who's going to come out of this well, and who might not come out of it so well. What are you looking at?
Really, Lori, attitude is absolutely everything. Someone that's coming forward, looking forward to doing more again in life, definitely makes the most progress. With our therapy, not every exercise fits every one person, so we have to customize it to your needs. And at Breckenridge, luckily, we have lots of different tools in our toolbox for therapy, including our brand new pool, and that has helped us out tremendously in designing programs for people.
Okay, I've heard a lot about water therapy, and David, I understand the two of you and Mimi, work closely on the pool, and at one point you weren't sure about the depth and how this was all going to work, so tell me about that.
Well, quite a few things, Lori. One
Here's the pool. We have it up as you're talking about it.
It really is a gorgeous aquatic pool, and it was really kind of designed utilizing the input of experts like Mimi, and we talked about depth, and as people of different heights, how do you meet the therapy needs of those individuals? So the pool was designed for that. We also were able to do something that was very unique. We have an earth mass filter that enables us to minimize the amount of chlorine, so you don't smell the chlorine, you don't have that issue on your skin, or even like an incision site. So there's a lot of things that we looked at with the pool to really kind of make it work, and it works so well.
Okay, and I know that there was zero depth entry. Tell me, what does that mean? It's up on our screen of some of the other features.
Everyone talked about the concern about getting in and out of the pool, and so it's ramped, and it has a lot of support systems to it, so there's no steps, there's no lifts, there's nothing to impede someone getting in and out of the pool.
Okay, you can just get right in there and not have to worry about those things. Mimi, what are some of the other nuggets of advice you can offer to people who have this in their future, the surgery and the therapy?
A lot of times people preparing for surgery can't really strengthen, let's say, a knee or a hip before they have surgery. So they come through the surgery and they're weaker than ever. What we suggest is talk to your doctor about having pre-surgery therapy to strengthen the leg before you even go in, and the pool is a beautiful place to do that because the water is so supportive.
And is it just Breckenridge people who can come in, or can the community at large get in there?
The community through therapy can get a prescription from their physician for those services, and then we track a lot of people coming out of other rehabilitation services to get those services at the Veal Wellness Center.
All right, sounds like an excellent pool. Increasing the odds that your rehab experience will go swimmingly well is possible. My thanks to David Schell and Mimi Pekarik for joining us today. To learn more about the Veal Wellness and Aquatic Center and Breckenridge Village, you'll want to write down the number that is coming up next.
Learn more by calling Breckenridge Village at 440-954-8359 or visit their website www.breckenridgeohio.org. Next, an elder care coordinator can be the key to allowing your loved one to age at home.
Sometimes it's about beating the clock. Sometimes it's about beating fate. And sometimes it's about beating the unimaginable. But there's one opponent our team loves to beat more than any other. We love beating the odds. We are the Metro Health System. We are the proud sponsor of the comeback.
A couple of weeks ago, Susan Krupitzer joined us to explain how an elder care coordinator can help you and your family obtain the best care possible, preferably at home or at least in the community. Most people would prefer to age at home. An elder care coordinator works with you to locate any and all community resources to help you achieve that goal. After Susan's last appearance, we took a vote, and many of you demanded a recall. So we've elected to bring her back to the air, and here she is, our elder care coordinator, Susan Krupitzer.
Hi, Lori.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So quickly, can you recap what it is that an elder care coordinator does?
As an elder care coordinator, I will meet with families and assess their needs, meet with the families and figure out what's going on in their personal situation.
You need to be familiar with all the care resources, right?
Right. We recommend the best care option that works for that situation at that time, and we advocate for the client and the family.
Sometimes an individual can remain at home instead of having to go to a nursing home if they just had the resources to do so. Is that something that you can help families out with?
Absolutely. What we do is we meet with them, we figure out what's going on with them at that time, financially or medically, and try and pick the situation that fits best for
So
them.
it could be VA benefits or community services, Meals on
Exactly.
Wheels, all those kinds of
Medicaid,
things.
Different things.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of community services out there I bet people don't even know about. So can you give us an example? You were telling me about an elderly gentleman that you helped.
Yes, for example, there might be somebody who's receiving rehab in a hospital and goes to a nursing facility for rehab services. At the time that they are cut from rehab services, it might be the time for that patient family or not. And what you do is intervene at that time, hopefully with the help of the rehab center. And if they're not ready, then maybe try and get them extended services. And if they are ready, then help plan what's safest for them at home, whether that be the home health care, and beyond that, is it assisted living, independent living, and basically how we can keep them at home as long as possible.
Right, that's
but
really important.
But find the best setting for them.
Okay. I know viewers want to get more information about what an elder care coordinator does. So is there a way to do that?
Oh, through our seminars. We have several seminars that we do often, and next week we will be having some seminars on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at different locations. So just check out our website, or I believe they'll be listed here shortly.
Okay.
And hope you join us.
Sounds good. Being uncoordinated can pose problems both for youngsters and for old-timers. But good coaching makes a big difference. An elder care coordinator can help you get the best care possible, preferably at home or in the community. For more information, call the number that's coming up next. Sign up for our seminar, don't forget.
Call Budish, Solomon, Steiner, and Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information and to reserve your place at an informative free seminar keyed to help your loved one age at home. Or log on to www.budishandsolomon.com.
Thanks for joining us. Next week, we'll make a policy to look at the changes coming to health insurance. We'll postulate about improving your posture, and we'll sink our teeth into a beautiful smile. Until then, please remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.